Nigel Farage insisted that Middle England is with us as he brilliantly hit back at the People's Vote March in London, which saw tens of thousands of people travel to the capital to demand another say on Britain's departure from the Brussels bloc. Brexit supporter and former UKIP leader Nigel Farage hit out at the People's Vote March in London, with tens of thousands of Brits demanding another say on Britain's departure from the European Union. The British MEP insisted Middle England is with us as he continues on his Brexit march, which started last Saturday in Sunderland and will finish in London next week, on the day the UK was originally scheduled to leave the European Union. Speaking on Sky News, from Beeston in Nottinghamshire, Nigel Farage was asked to comment on the sizes of the two marches. He said, "Oh, absolutely. It's the same story. In many ways, this march and the size of it and the type of people taking part, compared to what is happening in London today, it's all very emblematic. All the way through this, it's been people like me fighting on behalf of the little people against the big battalions. As we proved, on that day, on the 23rd of June 2016, actually Middle England is with us. It certainly isn't with career politicians who have lied and cheated on this issue." Tens of thousands of people arrived in London to march for another say on Britain's departure from the European Union. Placards carried among the crowd of demonstrators call on the government to revoke Article 50. Others read, "We're marching to demand a people's vote and we love EU." The leader of the Liberal Democrats, Vince Cable, has tweeted his support for a second referendum after launching the Put It to the People march in central London. Alongside two photos of him with demonstrators, he wrote, "Great to kick off the People's Vote March just now. There is a huge turnout of people here from all walks of life, of all ages and from all over the country. We are a Remain country now with 60% wanting to stop the Brexit mess. Exit from Brexit, put it to the people." Independent MP Anna Subri called on Conservative and Labour MPs to give the public a final say. She said, "Put your country first. Get into the lobbies and vote for a people's vote." Labour MP David Lammy led the crowd in chants of "Theresa May must go" and claimed leading Brexiteers had lied to the country during the referendum. Also speaking from the stage in Parliament Square, Mayor of London Sadiq Khan said he was a proud European. "No matter how you voted in the referendum, no matter what political party you support, we can all agree that Brexit has been a complete and utter mess," he said. An online petition has also been signed by over 4 million people calling for the government to revoke Article 50, despite the UK still legally scheduled to leave the EU on the 29th of March. The date will likely be pushed back after the EU accepted the Prime Minister's request to delay Britain's exit from the Brussels bloc. The EU 27 agreed to Britain's extension of the Article 50 process and said the date could be moved to the 22nd of May if the Prime Minister's withdrawal agreement is backed in the House of Commons. If the Prime Minister's Brexit withdrawal agreement is rejected by MPs, the extension will be cut short until the 12th of April, when the UK will then have to set out its next steps, which will include leaving the EU with no deal or extending the process further. The Prime Minister was expected to bring her deal back to the Commons next week, but on Friday evening, Mrs May wrote a letter to MPs suggesting she may not bring her deal back if there is not enough support for it across the House. Mrs May wrote, "If it appears that there is not sufficient support to bring the deal back next week, or the House rejects it again, we can ask for another extension before the 12th of April, but that will involve holding European Parliament elections. If it appears that there is sufficient support and the Speaker permits it, we can bring the deal back next week, and if it is approved we can leave on the 22nd of May."